Hello, Southeast Iowa, West Central Illinois, Northeast Missouri. Hello, this region. We are so excited to have you on the King Kong Trail. I'm your host, Amy Vandiver. I have Doug back in the sound booth.
Boop, boop, boop.
And today we have a very special guest, and this is her second walk on the King Kong Trail because many moons ago, I think
A long time ago.
long time ago, we had my friend Denise Hanks. Denise, welcome to the King Kong Trail.
Thank you so much.
It's been a day or two since you've been on here.
We were just barely starting, I think, in Heart Song. My hair was really short. I remember that.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute. But a lot has happened with Heart Song.
There's been a ton of things happening with Heart Song, and I think you were on in either 2019 or 2020. So there has been a lot of life happening between now and then. And tell us a little bit about what Heart Song is.
Okay, so Heart Song is a nonprofit. We are a 501c3, and we are opening an adult day center. So people who can no longer be home alone, older people, mostly like dementia, strokes, Parkinson's, they just the caregivers need some respite or to get back to work or things like that. So we will be providing an adult day program for them. So that's part of it. Another part is we are having a community center. So
okay.
a lot of renovations, a lot going on out at our building. We have purchased the old Burlington Care Center, and we have done $1.2 million worth of renovation.
Oh, wow.
I know, which makes it seem like you should walk in there and I don't know, to me, like you should walk in there and there should be gold trim everywhere. But a good portion of that budget was just redoing the roof. 28,000 square feet. If any of you have had your roof redone, you know that that's expensive. And then we've also, we've got phase one almost done as we speak today. And that includes the main area. If you're familiar with what Burlington Care Center was, when you first walk in, there's a big dining room that people would sit in. So that has been completely redone. And as a matter of fact, we've like the ceiling has been replaced because we had some problems with trusses, and the floors all replaced. We took out the green carpet on the walls.
Oh, the green carpet, you took it out?
I know.
So pretty.
I'm so sorry, Amy. And I threw it away. Even I didn't even think of you.
Oh, man.
And we have luxury plank vinyl now on the floor, and that goes down the hall. So, it's a lot of work. It's looking fabulous. And actually, we want to really show that off because October 11th, we're having an open house.
Awesome.
So come on out from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to have live music, and we're going to have, we've got one food truck for sure right now, but we're working on getting some others. We'll get some more out there. So
Okay, so if we know of people who have food trucks, how would they get a hold of you to just say, hey, I'd like to come join your shindig?
I would love that. And you can just call me at Heart Song, and the number is 319-214-0509. And then also you can email me at Denise at Heartsong, Iowa. Spell it out, Heartsong, Iowa, one word, .org.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for that information, we can get that again from you and post it as part
Sure.
of the comments and things like that.
Yeah.
So people would have that
Yeah.
readily accessible for them. So
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Because
Okay.
we have over 200 donors, and many people from the community are going to be there. So I think it's going to be very well attended. And definitely people are walking by, driving by, eager to see the inside and see what we've done.
Oh, I'm curious because I was in there not when it was Burlington Care Center.
Right.
I worked at another care center, and we used to do these events where we would go take people to the different places to.
Like Olympics, wasn't it? Like Olympics?
The Klein Center hosted Olympics, so we hosted Olympics, and that was a lot of fun. And then they hosted karaoke.
Oh, I would love to do that again. That would be fun.
Yes. Yeah. So, and it was funny because the group that did karaoke at there also did a bunch of nursing homes. And so everyone who came had their song.
Oh, funny.
Yes. And we had everything from Patsy Cline to AC/DC singing. And it was a blast. So I'm really excited to see well, one, I'm excited to see a building that, wasn't being used,
right.
Have new life in it,
right.
know. So that's really cool. Can you kind of tell us, you've gone through lots of different scenarios of what Heart Song could be in the last 5-6 years?
We have. It's been 6 years. Our original board met July of 2019. Mm-hmm. And we're really getting things together. Like, we didn't have a building or anything. And then COVID happened. And we had an opportunity for someone who was going to restore a building, an old building, and let us lease from them. And with COVID, that just all fell apart. So we just really had kind of a pause. Well, it was really kind of a pause during all that. But then we've just, I think it was July of 21 that we purchased the Burlington Care Center. Sorry, I'll have to look that up. I'm pretty sure it was July 21. So we've had it for a while. Mm-hmm. It was just the opportunity came up, during COVID, the owner of the building just moved people to another care center in Mount Pleasant that she owned very quickly. And her thoughts were to move back into the Burlington Care Center. But as you know, with COVID, we lost so many workers in the healthcare industry that she just... It just never opened, and she was willing to sell it to us for a decent price.
Nice.
I had a gentleman call me who wishes to remain anonymous, but he's like, I want to buy that building for you. I know.
That's amazing.
So awesome. So I'm like, okay, let's do that. And
wait, let me think about that.
Yeah, for a nanosecond, you bet. I had no idea the amount of work that it needed. None of us had the idea when they went to put the new fireplace in. Mm-hmm. The stone wasn't matching up. And so we had an excellent foreman from Carl A. Nelson Company, Joe. And he's like, we got to fix these trusses. We had a roof leak, and it was even before we had the building, but the roof had leaked and rotted out some of the wood up there. Yeah. And so that's okay. It's all good and solid now, and we are thankful. And eventually the whole ceiling had to come down. So we've had our bumps and bruises, but through it all, we're thankful. I'm thankful because it's done. It's done right now.
Nice. And I know that it's just been such a journey just to find this and I've been following you on Facebook because I think it's such a needed, we need something like this in our area.
Right.
And not everybody it is at the point where they would need a full-time long-term care situation, but there are caregivers, husbands or wives or children who, just want a safe place for their loved one while they go grocery shopping or just go, I need a break, because it's a lot.
It is. And, right before I came here, I actually had dinner with my husband and I had dinner with another couple, and she's a caregiver to her husband. And she said, I have hired somebody to come through an agency even, 2 hours twice a week. And she said, I look forward to that time. And she said, I just go take a walk. I do whatever. And, it's just been very, very difficult because the people cancel at the last minute, or she said they had one person come on a Monday and they really liked him, and Tuesday that person quit. Oh. So it's just, it's a really difficult time for caregivers. And, we're the missing link, and we are the hidden solution to a problem that is growing in America. Long-term care is so very expensive.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And, people, caregivers, their risk of dementia, their risk of heart attack, cardiovascular, depression is raised. They want to care for their loved one. And of course, this couple, she enjoys caring for him. She loves having him at home. But at the same time, just needs a little break once in a while, right? So there are no alternatives. You maybe hire somebody from these agencies, and they're just having a hard time keeping staff. Or you might get a stranger. You might get somebody different every time or every other week.
And that's hard for someone with dementia because
very difficult.
Routine is very important, and consistency is so very important.
Very difficult
for people to know their story and what may trigger or what may, help them adjust to in different situations. Being able to know their story.
Yes.
So important.
Exactly. And even when they're home, even though they have that person come in to help them out, they're really socially isolated too, which is just has a whole plethora of health problems that come along with that. So what Heartsong will do is Heartsong is created to be a place where the caregivers know that the person's well taken care of. We're going to have a nurse on staff. We're going to have trained assistants or aides. And we're really, we've kind of come full circle, and we're going to call the people that come members. So they can be members of the most elite club in town.
Nice.
And that gives them a sense of ownership, really. I'm a member of Heartsong. And rather than activities, we're going to have clubs. So we might have a travel club or a bingo club or card club, book club, things like that. So just give an idea of that I'm a part of it, and I get to also choose activities and things I want to do. And it just gives them socialization. They're around other people. They're going to get to know the staff really well. They're going to get to know the other members very well. And then the caregivers, I feel that a natural consequence is they're going to make friends. They're going to have their own community too. And they can bounce ideas off each other to determine, hey, this worked or this didn't, or hey, if we go to this restaurant, maybe they're much more dementia friendly or something like that. Nice. Or just a shoulder to cry on. Sometimes caregiving is tough.
You need a network of support.
Yeah, exactly. So, and of course, Heartsong will also look at each individual and decide hey, these are some things that worked for us with the problems that you're facing at home. You can try that. We do are going to offer shower services too, because that can be a really that can be an issue too. People don't want to bathe their mom or their dad, or even sometimes the spouse with dementia needs a little extra help.
Or maybe their bathrooms at home are not accessible.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
So, yeah, we've had to redo our bathrooms too because they were not ADA compliant.
What?
I know. Is that crazy?
I thought that would be kind of a given. I'm just
Right. Because it worked very well as a care center, but yeah.
okay. Well,
Yeah. So there is some legislature. There is legislature in the Iowa state to look at removing barriers for adult daycare. And one of those barriers that I have mentioned, I'm going to get a hold of my legislators too, is, like, this is crazy that this wasn't up to code. Like this, or that the codes changed so much that we can't use a bathroom that worked perfectly well for 4 people, when it was opening the day before they moved everybody out. So it's not going to cost anybody money. It's just it will remove a barrier to adult day. And I would love to see, there's a lot of facilities that have closed through the state. I would love to see a bunch of them being used as care facilities or as not as care facilities, but as adult day.
well, especially in smaller rural areas, sometimes the nursing home is one of the biggest employers in that area
It's
too.
true.
So if I know that there were some bigger corporations that bought up the smaller ones that were struggling.
Right.
And if they said, okay, well, we're condensing these 5 down to 3, then the communities that had those 2, that was a big source of employment in
Right.
that area.
Right.
And also it just makes the caregivers have to drive so much further. And I had a office in the visitor parking lot at the old Klein Center.
I remember.
And every once in a while there was a couple, I was like watching him like, oh, please don't hit that. Please don't hit that. So, I mean, just driving farther out for some of the families that, especially that may be having trouble driving themselves, that can be scary, especially on the highways and things like that.
Several years ago, as a matter of fact, we had somebody at the hospital who had to put his wife in it. There were no beds in town and had to put his wife in one of the outlying communities, and he was killed in a car accident driving to see her. I mean, this is real stuff here. And I had on Friday, I called around to all the facilities just to see, hey, do you guys have beds? Do you have a waiting list? And the assisted living had some beds, but the care centers did not. None of them had. Well, none of the 2 in the Burlington had available place for people. So it's getting better. It's definitely getting better. I hope we're over the Great Resignation and people are coming back into healthcare fields, but it's still.
Yeah, COVID really took out a lot of, the even in the schools, even in SEC and the partnership they have with the hospital to have that health field,
Right.
so they can partner with the school who's right across the street from them, which is a great location for that.
Yeah.
But we need more people in the healthcare industry. We need
Absolutely.
a lot of people in a lot of industries.
And this construction has lasted almost a year now, and part of that is they're just getting the help that they need to get in there.
The trades.
The trades are, I listen to Mike Rowe a lot, and so I
love
know.
Mike Rowe.
I know, right? And it's like, wait, the trades, we need more people in the trades. But, like, for example, the flooring guy comes out. He's one guy. He's supposed to have 2. The other one didn't show up or whatever, got called to another job. Don't know. But when it's one person versus 2, like 2 people can do quadruple what one person can do in some of those things, like flooring and things like that. So that's a huge issue. And people have asked, like, why do you think you're going to be able to keep your workers when everybody else is struggling?
That's a good question. As an interviewer, I should be asking you that.
That's okay. I got your back, Amy. So, and my response is people go into healthcare because they really want to be around people. They really want to care for somebody. If you didn't, there are other positions that you could do. There's other jobs. But oftentimes, as you well know, I well know, in long-term care and even in acute, you spend all of your time as a CNA or a nurse just checking off a list of tasks, right? And
There's so much paperwork.
There's so much paperwork, and there's just like you never get to spend time just sitting and visiting with the clientele, right? And so, nobody, I don't know, maybe people are like, oh, I really want to go into healthcare because I love documentation. I love it. I love to get on my computer. I love to spend hours just typing and doing that.
Not documented, not done.
Yeah. If you didn't document it, you didn't do it. And there will be some, but it's very simple. We're going with an organization called Story Care, and they are just for adult day. So it's
nice.
You have to keep some information, not as much as you do in the hospital. And it can just be on an iPad. As a matter of fact, we're just going to have 2 iPads. Like, that's it. And they type in. And if the family wants it, we can take a picture of them, and send it to that person as well. And send it to their daughter, like, hey, your mom really liked the ice cream sundaes we had today. It was a real winner. And look at hers, or, things like that. So it's always good to know that your loved one is, they're having fun, right? That they're enjoying themselves. They're making friends. They're getting to know the staff and the routines. So there's that component of it. And I'm not going to lie. Part of it is no nights, no weekends, no holidays. They can be home with their family. We're not going to do pseudo holidays. We won't be open for those fake holidays, the day after Thanksgiving or Christmas Eve, those that aren't really holidays, but yet we all want to take those off, right?
Right.
Recover from our turkey dinner the day before. Maybe go for a run.
Yeah. So when are you thinking about opening, like actual?
We have raised enough money. Obviously, we're in a $2.7 million fundraising capital campaign, and with that, we've purchased the building. As I mentioned, the renovations to the building.
That took over half of it, didn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah, yes, it did, Amy. Yes, it did, and it's beautiful now. For phase 1, do not expect the entire building to be redone for that. It's just phase 1. But we want to be sustainable. So we want to have a year's worth of operating costs pledged. We don't have to have it in cash, but we want it pledged. So of the $2.7 million, we need about $375,000 yet before we can open our doors. And that just makes sure that we're not going to open our doors and then close our doors. So, if anybody wants to help with that, you can go to our website, tap on the donate or join us button, and you can do recurring gift or a pledge or whatever. But
nice.
I that final, you can see the finish line and it's just about there. So really, that's all that's holding us back, folks, is money. But we've already raised, $2.3 million. So, we've come a long way in our community. That's all local money.
Wow. That means the community wants it and sees a need.
They do.
And wants to invest in that. So
yeah. And some of our major donors have been, the hospital gave $200,000 as a matching gift. And we were able to raise that matching amount in, 4 months.
Wow. Okay.
So that was crazy great. And then we got the Murray Foundation, and they have pledged $250,000. The Whitty Foundation has given us 100,000. And then we've had just like the Johnny Duna Foundation has given us 100,000, and Dr. Hoth has given us over 100,000. So it's a very local group, but the community really, really sees the need. And our city council members, our city manager, Chad Bird, they have all been very, very supportive, and really, this is the future. This is the future. People can stay home as long, if we get rid of the barriers and provide the services that they need. An adult day is like, I feel like a sleeping giant. Like it's just about ready to burst forth. And I see that nationally as well.
Okay. So what makes you see it nationally? I mean, is there some trend or I know you just came from a conference.
I'm going. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to it. Okay.
Well, yeah. But can I show this book?
Of
It's not
course.
mine. It's not mine. So I get no royalties or anything. So let me see. Okay. So this is a friend of mine wrote this. I know this gentleman, Chris Chana, he has 3 adult days in Florida.
Okay.
And he wrote this book, The Great Care Crisis, and it's why the future of long-term care starts with a forgotten idea. And it's all about adult day. And this is it's really thin. You can get it on Amazon. It's a very quick read. I think it's like $10. But Chris just really goes over why adult day is important. And he has fictional little stories, little brief stories of like a legislator that's frustrated that people in his community are calling out because there's no long-term care beds, there's no alternatives, they can't afford it. To a daughter who's trying to find a place for her mom and the frustration. And so, although they're fictional, I could plug 2 or 3 people in each of those scenarios. And it just talks about what adult day can do for people. Yeah.
How did you first hear about this concept? I mean,
That's a great question, Amy. So I first recognized the need. I worked at the hospital. I'm a speech language pathologist by trade, and I worked at the hospital for 30 years and retired in March. But, it was just like these people that could go home if they just had a little extra help. If we would, if we would have something. And when Kelly Olson, who's the case manager with inpatient rehab, like when she was in college, did a study on adult day. And she's like, well, we need an adult day place. I'm like, yeah, we do. I need to find somebody. I'm going to go find somebody to do an adult day. That's what I'm going to do.
Then you walk by a mirror and you're like, I'm the person. I'm the person.
I wish it would have been that quick. I am going to encourage them. I'm going to give them accolades. They're going to do great. Help me find that person. And then you just keep trekking along. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So finally I look in the mirror. I'm like, well, it's me. It's me. So I started researching and things like that. And I went and visited some places in the area and realized, we could do this. We could do this. So, yeah.
Nice. So the name Heart Song, where did you come up with the name Heart Song?
That is, yeah. So as a speech pathologist, I would work with people who lost the ability to speak, right? They would have a stroke and they would have aphasia oftentimes. And I would sit and talk with them and their words made absolutely no sense. And I'd be like, oh, okay, so you're worried about your son. Oh, your son, John. Okay. And the family would be like, how did you know that she was asking about John? Like, I don't understand that at all. Oh, well, because when she talks about John, she uses the word husband, but she really uses a different intonation. I've just learned that to understand what she's saying. And I tell the family, like, don't listen with your ears because the words aren't going to make sense. But really listen with your heart. Look at their face, try and feel the emotion that they're going through. And then just ask the questions, to get to where you need to be. So that was hard, listen with your heart. And, then just, I feel like everybody has a song, right? Like everybody has a song in their heart. So that's where I came up with that.
Nice. Yeah. Well, in communication, even with people without dementia, communication is just 7% of the words. Right. Everything else, 93%, is your tone and your body language.
Exactly.
And so if your tone and your body language don't match your words, well, people are going to understand and read, oh, this is what you really mean. Because your tone and body language is telling me this.
Right.
And so, having that, cues for just reading people by, are people agitated? Are people happy? Are they uncomfortable? Are they hungry? It starts. You look at cues for a baby, and you're like, oh, this child is by their cues.
Exactly.
And as we lose our ability to speak, we still have those cues.
Yeah.
And it's just we don't always have the words. I don't. Ask Doug. I was I'm doing it right now. I don't always have the words.
Right.
It's the body language and if you can speak and communicate to someone with somebody through that, it's a beautiful process.
Absolutely. And when I spend time with them and you really listen with your heart, you'll be able to pick up on the cues sooner and sooner. And I would joke and say, well, I speak aphasia. But it's just listening and watching and observing.
So, your staff, when you get your staff, and you said you'll have a nurse, what other staff members, because you're going to have to hire.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
What all the positions are you looking for?
So we will look for people that will be, just partners there. We'll probably be hiring CNAs initially. But they will, it's going to be a skeletal crew initially. So it'll be me. We'll have a part-time facilities person, just make sure everything keeps running. And there'll be some janitorial work involved with that too. But the staff are going to have to do, we just can't afford an activities director or something like that. So I really want to look for somebody who has a heart and an understanding of, and can come up with some activities and things like that, and really interact with the members.
Nice.
And that's going to be the most important thing to me. Like the degree doesn't matter, but so we don't have to have a CNA, and they don't have to have that in the state of Iowa.
Okay.
But we like that, and when I say we, like the board, we like that because then we know that they're coming with some credentials. They're already trained in first aid, those type of things as well. And then an LPN full-time as well, and an RN for just 4 hours a week to go over documentation. So
okay.
Just a very part-time.
Because there's still documentation.
There is still documentation. You still have to give meds and things like that. Yeah, like you can't get away from it entirely, but it's all good. It actually will help us with our ROIs. Like we'll know, like what are the things that really work. When do people come? Like we're always going to be assessing how can we improve too.
Okay, you said ROI. I know what that is, but
return on investment. So we want to make sure that if we, hire someone with a certain level of education, or we invest in things for activities like that, like we're going to use those, right? They're not just going to sit and get dusty, or those people aren't using their their abilities to the best of the high level of standards that we're really going to have. Yeah.
Good, good. So you'll have all these people with all these different giftings, and you'll be able to get everyone together.
And we're going to rely a lot on volunteers as well, to really come in and share what they're able to do. Like music is a huge, huge thing.
Oh yeah.
And can we do some? I think you did this too with the balls and the drumsticks and doing beats and stuff like that. Like that's, well, first of all, it's mixing both hemispheres of your brain, which is always a good activity, and doing beats and stuff like that is really good for a brain exercise as well as physical, right? So, and just fun. Fun is important.
Yes. Well, I mean, you're going to have someone there. You're going to want them to come back.
Right, exactly. And they may not remember, oh, I remember that Amy, she was so nice to me, or that Denise, she was so kind. But they'll remember how they felt going into that place. So that's what we want. Yeah. We want a good feeling, a warm feeling. Yeah. And that they feel valued and appreciated, and they can use whatever they have, whatever skills they have left, to also give back to the community. Again, if somebody likes to clean, we'll offer them opportunities, not demand it or anything, but offer them opportunities. Flower arranging, or even woodworking. We will not have power tools, but maybe they can sand things and just use whatever they have left to really give back and help and do other things. So still be productive.
Yes. I think that's very important. I remember when I first started in long-term care, the chapel service, when I first got there, we did chapel. They were doing chapel for the people living there. And I was like, this person used to teach Sunday school, and this one person plays the piano, and they like to sing. So we had elders who were playing the piano or leading prayers, or greeters. I had people who were greeting.
Oh, that's a great
And then
idea.
we had people that were helping make the snackies for it. Every once in a while you had to watch a couple of them because they're like licking the bowl. That was your bowl. And stuff like that. That was funny. I loved her. But there's, so they weren't just having chapel done to them. They were being part of the church, because this is what they've done their whole life.
Exactly.
And so whether it was that, or, even when we had happy hour, we had, people that were helping, lead games or different things like, because, we can entertain or we can be a part of something.
Right.
And entertainment's good for a moment, but finding something you can be a part of goes deeper.
Right. Well, and that's why I'm like travel club, if they've been someplace earlier in their life at some point, a family can bring in pictures of that.
Nice.
And they can talk about it and, talk about this trip that they went on and the things that they enjoyed. And, if same person talks about the same place a month later, it's still good, right? It's still good. And and play the piano, sing along. You talk about church, like people who have been raised in the church and things, they still know all those old hymns.
Oh, yes,
and
they do.
I would, I remember years ago, I had a student, and her husband was a pastor, actually. She was a non-traditional student, and this lady wouldn't eat, and they called us in at the hospital, like, you need to evaluate, find out why she's not eating. And so she and I went in there, and we just started singing hymns with her. And she started eating. She started humming along, and she started singing hymns. And I'm like, sometimes it's just, you've got to make that connection. And then you can help people. And music's a strong connections.
So strong.
And in hymns and churches, I mean, that brings back good memories for most people. So that's a good thing too.
Yeah. and knowing what songs mean something special to a person is great too, because sometimes it's some off the wall. I'm gonna use like Sheldon Cooper, soft kitty, warm kitty. That's actually a really old song that wasn't written on that show, but that was but I mean that was his song. So I mean, different people have the different things that
ground them and calm them and bring them back. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I've seen studies, and I actually, I am going to NADSA, National Adult Day Service Association, in the end of October. It's in Chicago again, which is really helpful for me because that's close, right? I still haven't decided if I'm going to take the train or fly. I'm on the fence. Both of them are so convenient. I'm not going to drive. It costs like $80 a day to park your car.
Oh my goodness!
It's downtown.
Oh, gotcha.
Anyway, there's an organization that you buy headphones with the music already programmed in there, and you can program them whatever music like that person responds to. So, it might be Rolling Stones, I don't know, or it could be, I can't even think, like Blake Shelton or something, but something that person, and if you go back to like their childhood, oftentimes, or high school, that's a good time to match music up with them. I have seen the videos of people that will just suddenly start talking about something they did as a kid. They'll hear that music. It starts to wake up areas of the brain. And people who you thought, like if you first looked at them, you're like, they are, they're not really with us. Like they're really tuned out. But music is a way to bring them back into our world.
Yeah, I've seen it like firsthand, and it's amazing. I loved that part of what I was able to do, just being able to sing with someone, and I told somebody I don't have a good voice, and they said, "You just keep singing. If we don't like it, we're going to turn off our hearing aids." I'm like, okay.
Well, at Klein, when we were talking about karaoke, I remember one time I was working out there, and there was a tornado warning, and it was like one of those that was kind of heading towards the building. There's different levels of, and this one was like, okay, we're serious, folks. It was supposed to be karaoke, and some of the residents there were not very happy that they were missing karaoke.
You don't mess with a favorite thing.
You don't. And they were nervous. They were scared. I was in the bathroom with a bunch of them. And I just sat, staff put a bunch of them in the bathroom because that was, that
was a safe spot. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where you were supposed to do. And they were scared, and we just began singing. And I remember I was just holding this one lady's hand, and she was so nervous. And she had been a Sunday school teacher when she was younger. And so I started singing those really old Sunday school songs, the B-I-B-L-E and all of that. And she just started singing with me. And there was another lady there that she started singing with us. And I got a phone call about a week later from one of the daughters. And she's like, "Were you with my mom during the tornado warning?" And I said, "Yeah, that was me." And she said, "Were you singing with them?" I said, "Yeah, that was me." And she said, "Well, my mom is always so terrified of storms. And I ran out there as soon as I could, as soon as it was safe, to make sure my mom was okay." And she just said, "This lady was just singing. She was just singing. It was okay." And I'm like, "Oh, that's, I don't have the best voice." So it was fun too.
Yeah, it's just, music is just, it's so powerful, and music and poetry is kept in, it focuses in a different area of your brain, and it kind of recharges everything.
Exactly. So heart song, there we are.
Yes.
Half heart, half song.
Perfect. So you've had a little change in the board since you first started. Who are your current board members?
Sure. So yeah, we have had a change. We've had people move away. I'll get to one of them. Our president right now is Jeff Walters. He has been there from the beginning. Our vice president is Dr. Joellen Hoth. Everybody knows Dr. Hoth.
Yep.
Dr. Hoth. She's actually the Capital Campaign chairperson, and she's been raising a lot of money. So we're thankful for that. We had Amy O'Brien at the beginning.
Okay.
And then Amy moved away. And when I found out that Amy was coming back, I called her, and she's back on the board. So
nice.
we're thrilled. And having her in the role as CEO of the Greater Burlington Partnership has been really awesome. Dr. Duna has been there from the beginning. Kim Grimshaw is our secretary. She, too, has been there from the beginning. Jane Reckhammer is our treasurer. She hasn't been from the beginning, but she's been there quite a while, and she's a huge asset. We really appreciate her. I'm trying to go around the table. So Dr. Fran Jackson, you know her.
Oh, yeah.
So she's a pediatrician, but her husband had frontal temporal dementia, and so she has a real heart for this as well. Dean Van Tyker, who's a nurse practitioner. He was a nurse practitioner.
I didn't know Dean was on your board.
Yeah, he's been there since the beginning, too.
Okay.
I just begged him. And
I love Dean.
well, he provides an interesting take on it. And, he works in long-term care. So
Yeah.
it's awesome to have him there.
He's a good guy.
Really, yeah. Dr. Teresa Salino Hug, she was an orthodontist here in town, and her parents both had dementia. She is our data migration specialist. So when you can't afford to pay people, you give them a title. And that's our friend Teresa. I'm so afraid that I'm going to leave people out. So Tiffany Brockway was on the board. She just recently stepped down, but she said she'll come back after Addie, her daughter, gets through the senior year of high school. And she really has been being pulled by that.
Understandable, yeah.
Yeah, right. So Carson McSorley, her mom is Gina at the Klein.
Okay. I was like, how do I know that name? Okay, Gina.
Yeah, Carson is our youngest. So
nice.
we're very thankful to have her. And she works at the hospital, actually, doing marketing. So she's a great asset. We're happy to have her. Again, I'm like, okay, I can't leave anybody out. I'm trying to think. Okay, so Tiffany left, and we've added 2 more to replace her. Well, we're about ready to add 2 more. One of them is Joe Bird. I mentioned him at the beginning. He was the foreman that found the problems with the trusses and brought that to our attention. So it's awesome to have somebody with some construction background, and also, somebody with integrity that was able to not cover that up and tell us. So we're thankful. He has attended the first board meeting. I hope we don't scare him away. We have another one that will also be joining us, but she hasn't officially accepted, so I'm not going to mention her name yet.
That's fine, yeah.
But another young, Joe's younger too, and this person will be younger too. So we really want to be able to carry the legacy on, and not have it stop. But yeah.
Well, that you have a lot of different people with a lot of different skills on your board,
do.
And this is something in the community that people need, and for the family members that this organization will impact. I'm really excited for them.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm excited, and I'm excited to go to check it out, because I've been in the old building, and I'm gonna this green carpet though. I'm so sad that
there may be a hallway that still has it if you're interested. When we do the next level of renovations, hey, no, please, Amy wants this carpet.
Yes, at least like a little heart-shaped little carpet. No, I'm kidding. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Doug's going, no, Amy, no. Oh yeah, it would make a nice little border around here. That would be lovely.
We're good. We're kind of.
You're good. Okay.
We're good. Thank you, though. Very kind of you.
Yeah. So we'll see. And then in the next renovation, we're going to be tearing down more walls. And the great thing is we're going to start small, and that way we can know when we go to phase 2 of construction. That we will know this is what we found worked and this didn't work. And so it's kind of like a soft opening, like, okay, we're going to need more space for this. We thought we would use this. We're not using that type of thing. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Well, then you can, especially having a construction person on your board, he can say, this isn't working or this is working.
I know, right?
So that's perfect.
I know. I feel like that, I go through it. I do the construction update videos if you ever want to see a silly person on YouTube. That's me. But I'm like, oh, we did this and we did that. Like I didn't do anything. I didn't lift it. I didn't pick up a hammer. Like I did none of it. And I'm like, oh gosh. Yeah.
But you as a collective we has.
I'm not even going to go there, Amy, because those guys work so hard on all of that. Like, I just don't want to insult them. And they're like sweat dripping down. And it was just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you're having to do this. But thank you. Thank you for doing that.
That's how much they believe in it. So.
And that is true. And that, that's a nice thing about having Joe added is like, well, he's seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of that place, and still wants to be on the board. Go you. Thank you.
He literally knows what he's getting into.
Literally, he does more than any of the rest of us. That is true. But everybody brings a piece to their own story. Whether it's like Teresa, whose parents had dementia. Fran, whose husband had it, Dr. Hoth, who walked the walk with many of her patients and things like that. And Kim Grimshaw is sat with people and even Jane, our secretary, she's like, being an accountant, she understands like the financial burdens as well, but also the burden of having a family member with these problems. And Carson just her grandfather had dementia. He died recently, and they made the memorial to Heart Song. So we're very appreciative of that. And again, they were kind of the people that were waiting for us to open up so that they could use our services. That has been, I think, the hardest thing for me is that, and especially as like, hey, you're having this open house. All right, you're going to open tomorrow. Like, are you opening in October? And no, I'm sorry. We want to be financially responsible. And
I think the community can appreciate that.
Yeah.
You want to know that it is sustainable. You want to know that you have your benchmarks.
Right. Exactly.
And, we've been part of a church plant, and they had to set benchmarks for us to reach it. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm ready to go now.
Right.
I have the patience of like none. I have none. It's not my gifting. I don't pray for it because I know God will test me, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, I asked for it.
Well, and
so I get it.
Perseverance was never my thing.
But look at you go at it.
I have no choice. The Lord just said, you're going to do this. And he just, he does it. And he's got the opening date. It's all set.
His timing is way better than ours anyway.
I'm waiting for his email to say, hey, Denise, it's going to be this day. It's go time. It's go time, girl. All these years. Let's go. He hasn't done that yet.
But when he does, it'll be amazing.
It will be a boom. It will be a boom for sure.
Oh, well, I'm excited. Tell us again the date not dates, the date of your open house.
Sure. So our open house is Saturday, October 11th. It's from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you're interested in volunteering and helping us get ready for the open house, our cleaning dates are going to be October 4th and 5th. So we're going to have 3 different times. You can come 8 to noon on Saturday morning or 1 to 5. Probably will be done before 5. I don't do much after. And then on Sunday afternoon, 1 to 5 too. Just like I said, we're hiring some people to do some of the construction. King Clean was kind enough to come in and say, this is what you can do. This is what you should hire done. This is what you could do have volunteers do, because I didn't realize how expensive cleaning after construction could be.
Oh, yeah, yep.
It's very expensive, and that dust is the weirdest thing. It is just it's like
thick.
super fine, but then layered. I'm not a fan of construction dust.
Yeah, and just when you think you got it done, you turn around and it's like, I just did this.
I
I just
know.
dusted this.
I
Where did
know.
this come from?
Well,
Yep,
yeah,
I get it.
the workers, they generate dust when they're fixing things. It's
And
part of
sometimes
the-
it just needs to settle because it's so fine. It just hangs in the air.
I know, right?
Just like, go away, dust. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So you have some volunteer times then. So October 4th in the morning and an afternoon shift.
Uh-huh.
Do people just show up with mops and buckets, or what do we do?
Just show up. I think
Okay.
we'll have most of the cleaning stuff that we need there.
Okay.
Just show up with you. You're not going to have to do windows. That's one thing that we're outsourcing. Having the professional cleaners are like, you don't want to do the windows because you don't want to put product on it. I guess I don't know.
Huh.
I
don't know.
I've learned so much, Amy. I have learned so very much.
Oh, well, then you'll be all ready to go for phase 2 when it happens.
I need a little break, but yeah, that's, truthfully, I would love just to go straight into phase 2. So if anybody has a couple $1 million, again, like we could go right into phase 2.
I'll have to check my back pocket for that.
Right. That
Shake my
lottery
couch.
keeps going up. I don't, no shame. I'd take it. I'd take any money that's acquired legally.
Okay, there you go. Nice little caveat there.
Yeah, right. I gotta have some morals.
So we know when it is. Where are you actually located for the people that don't know?
So we're the former Burlington Care Center, and the address is 2700 Journey Lane. So we actually I got the name changed of the street.
I was gonna say, I was like, isn't it on Shaka Khan?
No, it's never been on Chaka Khan. It was on South 5th, which makes absolutely no sense because yeah, right. It doesn't even line up with 5th Street. There's 2.5 miles between. I had to go to the city to get this approved. There's 2.5 miles between. It ends. 5th Street actually ends at South Street, and there's 2.5 miles until you get to where our one block. We were the only thing that had an address on the 20. It was 2610 or something South 5th Street. And I'm like, no, I don't want that. I tried for a heart song. The city said no, which I get. I totally get. They don't want to name things after businesses, so that's fine. So I'm like, life is a journey, right? So Journey Lane.
When you just said that.
But now
I'm
we
sitting there
think of
thinking,
music.
Life is a highway.
I could have named it highway. That would have been really confusing. But now Journey songs are going through your head, right?
Yes, so many songs. My brain is always pumping out.
See how powerful music is? It's so powerful. We will have live music at our open house too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And people can follow you on Facebook. Are you on anything else? Any other social whatevers?
I think our Facebook goes to Instagram.
Okay.
I do believe we have an X account, but I don't ever update that, so don't go there. We do have a website, heartsongiowa.org, and that will get you there, and we'll update that. Thank you, Carson. And Amy Burkhart has helped us with Titan as well. But yeah, it's walk by, drive by. Oh, Zeiser's Landscaping donated all the landscaping out front.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
And it
looks
is in a beautiful area anyway, right outside
my
the park.
Goodness, it's gorgeous.
Oh my goodness.
What a blessing, right? Like we are right between Dancourt Park and Crapo Park. Like
you're like tucked in right there.
Yeah, like this public area that's tucked in, or this private area that's tucked in all this public land. And with the Home and Community Based Services Act, like you have to take people out once a month, and they mentioned parks. I'm like, oh, we can take them out 5 feet. There we are. We're in the park. We'll do more.
Yeah. Oh, but it's just a great location. It is
beautiful,
a needed thing in our community, and I'm super excited that you're back on the podcast talking about an open house, because before we were just talking about a dream.
It's true. It's true. We just had an idea and a dream, and had to have a building, 28,000 square foot building, and we can offer so much. I look forward to seeing what's going to happen when it's all said and done. Actually,
nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be definitely peeking in and checking it out. So
please,
yeah. All right. Is there anything else that we forgot or that you want to touch base on?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Well, Southeast Iowa, come check out Heart Songs Open House October 11th.
11 to 2.
11 to 2.
Grab your lunch with the food trucks.
Oh, yes. And if you have a food truck, hook up with... No, that doesn't sound right. Call
me. Just call me, okay? Nothing else.
Wow. Okay. So that'll do it for us. Have a great day.